2, 1.
Thanks for joining us. Episode 3, MLS Talk. What's upsets you this week? We will get to that question. Matt, calm down. I want to hear what you're drinking first.
I have so many things in this.
I know, buddy. I know.
One for me.
I wake up and
Thanks, Alex.
I wake up and the world just upsets me. But I'm diving right in to Brewing Company. The Brewing Company is 902 Brewing Company out of Jersey City. It's an amazing beer called Brady's Nightmare, and it literally has a picture of Tom Brady all beat up on the front of it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So it's really funny. Like, you could tell it's like made from
it's
Giants. You could tell it's made from Giants fans, but like definitely it's like a New England style IPA, but it's heavy as shit. It's like 11%, and it's like
Whoa.
yeah, you
That's like that rogue dead guy level of beer. Right
no,
there.
you have one and you're fine. Like, you have one and you're like,
So roughly in about 15 minutes, he'll be drooling on the ground. Thank you for that. Dre, what are you sipping on?
I am just continuing on with this 6.7% Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA, and I gotta tell you, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Well, that's good. That's real good. Alex,
you haven't smashed it over your head yet. What the hell?
Bruh.
next time.
That's not me. Sorry, Trey.
Trey.
Can't get over it.
Stop.
Can we put his name in the podcast? Trey?
It's not.
Wait, has
That's
it
what
really
it is in my
not?
phone.
Check his driver's license.
We'll make him a shirt just hi, my name is Trey, crossed out Trey.
I'm gonna get him a custom Red Bulls jersey that just says I'm Trey on the back from the Post and Pines podcast.
Well,
As you continue to nurse that bottle of Jameson,
you said it.
is there anything?
I'm out of soda. I'm out of mixers. I'm out of bitters. I'm out of everything. So I'm just gonna start drinking from this bottle. Because
One bottle gang, gang,
I
gang.
was about to say, so if you
that's what we're doing.
so if you know Alex, his nickname is One Bottle Gang, and he's about to prove it tonight because that bottle was basically full when we started.
I have a membership at 3 different liquor stores in the surrounding area.
I got this at the
Something
place
to
I
really
was
brag
at.
about for the younglings out there.
We have
Eventually, you get to the point where you're familiar and you have a VIP card and
really-
multiple liquor
and they know
stores.
you by name.
2 bottle gang?
The
Two
second-
bottle
the
gang.
so this is just a public service announcement. If your liquor store knows you by name, you might be there just a tad too much. Thank you for this public service announcement.
We
The
appreciate
number,
that.
the number to AA will be in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll add that to the show notes. Like
No,
I
seriously.
say at every outro, drink responsibly. But Kyle, you still sipping on that popsicle?
Yep, I'm still drinking Blair Snort Brewery, Carlstadt, New Jersey. They'll be at the ESC tailgates every game this year.
There you go.
You will be, or the beer will be.
Both.
Well,
Yes.
if they have that beer, I might be.
Yes.
You don't know.
Oh.
You don't know that for sure yet.
What about South Ward Ale?
I'll just pay
You-
$10
you
and
can
drink
You
both.
go back and forth. The tailgates are 100 feet
That's
apart.
not the point.
It's
That's
exactly
the
Exactly the point. More
Gotta
beer.
Choose one.
More beer.
Alex is being, for some reason, very territorial about this.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
really
alright.
know why.
He's got problems. It's
But yeah, I
Just
think he's got
realized this.
abandonment
You
issues.
can't have both. You
can't
can't
have both.
I think he has abandonment issues. Were you?
We all have abandonment
Who hurt
issues. We're Red Bull
Show me on the
fans.
doll where they touched you.
Give me the. Do I need the dog?
show me on the bottle where it makes you feel no pain.
So
Don't
right,
point at the bottle.
So
Give me the
right,
bottle.
So right about here, this is where pain goes away.
Yeah, so
it goes
when I get under this label right here, that's when it when it gets numb.
Well, that's
For
There
me,
you go.
it's when my eyes can see the bottom of the can. You know, you can read it upside down.
Well, that's
It's not because
interesting.
they're passed out on the floor.
on the inside.
Yeah.
No, because all the beer's empty and you can finally see what's in there.
Yeah, I don't think that's theoretically possible. It's too dark in the can. But Kona, thank you for the tip, Matt. Kona Big Wave. It's always something good to sip on. It's a pretty strong IPA, so look out for that one. So what upsets you this week? I'm gonna play curveball here. We're gonna sit on Matt and let him steam it a little bit longer,
God,
and we're gonna go with Kyle,
Yeah, let's make Matt go last.
and we're gonna make
How
Matt go
ready.
last.
I have so much rage.
Look how red he is.
I have rage.
Every vein in his
I have
body
a
is
till-
popping
Kyle!
out right now.
I have a till of rage.
It's okay.
Relax.
Goose,
Goose.
You just don't give a.
goose fraba.
Kyle.
Kyle.
So what upset me this week? Is that what we're
Yeah, please tell me as I
discussing?
look right at you.
I mean, I'm going to go with the obvious answer and, letting Cincinnati score 2 goals on you.
It's pretty upsetting.
Going with the obvious answer. Not,
So you mean Tim Parker?
yes, directly.
So you mean that you are upset with one person individual?
Yes.
and his name happens
Is
to
Tim
be
Parker.
Timothy Anthony. I have to assume his middle name is Anthony.
Does he still have the handlebars?
He's a white
no,
boy.
no.
Oh, he
first
cut all of it off?
No, hold on.
Dwight Goodman would not have done that.
That was all for social.
I was about to say, excuse me. You know what? Hold on. Someone be mad at that. I'm mad
No,
at.
I'm mad
separate
at that
thing.
now.
No, I noticed that.
Okay.
That was all
How
for social,
dare
man.
you? How
Yeah,
dare
come
you
on.
put that up for social? How
That's
dare
all
you
for social.
play
It's
along?
all media.
I tell you what, I was thinking about doing it.
Are you kidding me?
I was
Well, I
gonna
can't
do it.
even go. I was about to go out and buy some beard
Fake-
oil.
Some fake.
Yeah.
Some like stuff that's gonna
Go
make you
Parker
go bald
Hogan over
everywhere
here.
else, but only help you grow hair right
I'm
here.
Spanish. I can't grow hair. This sucks.
Sorry.
I'm Greek and I create.
Is that what upsets you this week?
Just wait till you get to me.
Oh, we're at you now.
Oh, it's me. Do you know what upsets me? I'm looking at it. And I understand that people can't see what I'm looking at right now, but I'm looking at Justin's face.
Check the socials.
Check the social because it's gonna be on at least mine, Indigo Al, or the MLS one, or MLS one. But his face right now.
If you were listening to episode 2, most of us were still in shell shock that Justin.
Well, this is continue. Yeah, this is a continuation from what happened literally prior to this. This
Like,
stranger walked into my house.
Literally, Justin walked in the house and I'm like, who is? Did someone want to call the cops? Because I don't know this guy.
I got scared yesterday. Like yesterday, we met up at the bar, and I was assuming my purse was about to get taken because. Like,
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Listen.
You sure I
at the
wasn't
bar
asking
with a
for
purse?
You know what
a
it is?
cell
Like,
phone
I'm
about it or call
sorry.
my mom?
isn't it cool to have like that one guy in the friend group that has the big beard, right?
Just like the guy who has the truck. Like Kyle's my friend.
Kyle's
who
the
has
truck guy. Yeah.
Okay.
You have the cool little flippy hair. Actually, I have the flippy hair too, but. You had the beard, Justin. You had the beard. And
It's
it's
coming
gone
back.
now.
It's coming back.
But it's not here. It's not here right now.
Just like
I've
a
never
chichilla
seen-
pet,
I've
dude.
just never seen your bottom lip.
Nobody has.
No,
I
seriously.
didn't
like,
know you had a bottom lip.
Kind of
I
disturbing.
have a chin. It's so weird.
Andre made a very good point.
Your
before.
mouth looks
His
bigger.
Mouth is
It does.
You look like you could fucking like swallow a cheeseburger in one bite.
As long as there's no cheese on it, we're good to go.
Extra
I was gonna say, can you
cheese.
even
Or
eat
bread.
No,
I
I
can
can
have-
have.
would
I
kill
can
you.
have bread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
fine.
if,
Dre.
if Justin was gluten allergic to,
Oh, it'd
like,
be. There's
it'd
no
be
point.
over.
Yeah, obsolete. What upsets you? And don't say my beard. We're over that already.
Well, since I am apparently contractually obligated to not repeat Alex's commentary that I very much support and agree with.
I mean, you can join me in making fun of him later.
There's no one
I-
saying that you can't.
I think there's a. I think.
I think we're just making him feel bad. At
I
this
feel like
point.
we've
We
come
haven't
to
dropped it.
a
And
mutual agreement at the table, even on this side.
yeah, but we want to make you feel bad about your decision.
Oh, it's. I don't feel bad at all.
You
yeah,
should.
but that's what we
You
want.
should.
to
It's,
make you
it's,
do.
not, but it's
Your
coming back.
decisions are bad, and you should feel bad.
Right. Anyway, you
Accept it.
Taylor Hall looking ass bitch.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
With a big,
Professional hockey player. All right,
With a-
thanks. I'll take it.
with a big mouth.
We need a whole other
You got,
podcast to
you
discuss
got
why
a
that's
pretty
an insult.
mouth.
Cut up.
He got a pretty mouth.
Dre, what upsets you this week? Coronavirus.
I mean-
What's going on?
Kind of like always. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go with this one. So I'm
Curveball.
Ukrainian. My hometown club from Ukraine in the Ukrainian Premier League is a dumpster fire. Is absolute trash, and as of recording this, has lost a 13th consecutive match, and is
Wow.
dead
I'm
last.
pretty sure
in
like Red Bull.
RBE.
I feel like Red Bull fans would have just burnt RBA down with 13 straight losses.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not 13 straight losses. I think there's a tie or two in there.
I feel bad when you guys keep going to the game.
But
So
we
it's like
haven't
0 and
won a
13.
game in 13 matches, so
You're calling in replacements? Like,
Karpaty Lviv, get your shit together.
I think you're ready to go, right?
Please. Please. I literally, as an American, went to your fan shop this summer when I was in Ukraine, and I remember, like, one room in the fan shop has, like, a...
There's
kind of
multiple
like
rooms?
there's, like, the store where you buy all the stuff, whatever. There's one room that's kind of like a quote-unquote museum, and in 2009 or 10, Karpatis somehow made it to the Europa League, and they were in the same group as Dortmund. So Karpatis is playing against teams like Dortmund and in Europe. And, yeah, so we're pretty shit now. So that's kind of what's pissed me
It's like
off this week.
We're shit.
We're shit.
Wow.
Like, listen, I'm a Red Bull fan. I know what shit's about. Karpatis some real
Wow.
I know what shit looks like, tastes like, feels like.
Like, Karpatis some shit
I'm
right now,
surrounded
so.
by it.
So there's that.
Literally in
Um,
Harrison.
Matthew, He got going
And
on.
here we go.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom all this.
We're
happening.
diving hard into the MLS with this one.
I'll be back.
If my knuckles could make a cracking noise,
I got you. Hold on.
I appreciate all of you and everything that you do to make this rant possible.
You realize that we're taking time off of our rants and gifting it to you.
Like I said, we're charged by the minute.
You're all going to get thank you cards from my rant.
We're charged by the minute.
You know,
Just remember
you
that.
go to someone's wedding and they eventually send you like a thank you for attending.
Like 3 months later, yeah, I got it. Go on.
My rant is going to send you a thank you card to all of you. I want to know
I forgot
Who
we
has
are
the
explicit on E.
who has the audacity to lie about RBA's attendance day in and day out. All of last season and the season before, giving obnoxious
You mean the
numbers.
40% full lower bowl wasn't 16,000 people?
I want to know the piece of all shit who had the audacity to say that there were 16,000 people at RBA on the 1st of March.
It's weird because I saw some photos
Not my job.
and there was a lot of seats covered.
I was gonna say I could have probably
I
counted
think
them
they
all. And
added a
it was
tarp.
definitely around 8.
Like
They did.
added a
Oh, they
tarp
definitely
last
added
year.
at least
They-
one
they
tarp.
moved the
two-
away section
from where
over.
from
They
where
added two
the
tarps.
from where
Two
the
tarps.
South Ward is, the second level to our left, they added tarps.
Yeah.
No, there were more tarps. Like
there were more tarps.
halfway through
The
the
away
game.
section is also
Yeah.
over a section if you look. They added a tarp on that side too.
So no, but,
Really?
that,
I thought that was the same, but I know behind us they added.
but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like the thing that really just
Tarps
got
count
at
as
me
numbers,
this week.
dude.
No, but no.
They
I'm
tarped
so-
16,000 seats,
Yeah,
Matt. They didn't lie.
They tarped about 7,000 of them, but those tarps counted.
I'm just so tired.
Those tarps
like,
have feelings,
we know,
too,
like
okay?
Dre and I, one of our friends bought like a $10 student ticket, but didn't go to the game, and it's like, but they probably counted his ticket. And
Like,
that's,
definitely.
I would believe they said that
I'll take it
15,700 people bought tickets, but 15,700 people
Did not walk
show
through
up
those
to the
doors.
game. Did
Well, that's
not
what I'm
scan
saying.
their
If there was
tickets.
16,000, I was
even
telling
say-
Matt
I
last
wouldn't even
night,
say 10,000.
if there was 16,000 fans, you'd be standing at that front door going through security a lot longer than you usually do.
Oh, you mean as they put all of the ticket scanners in the middle of the sun so they couldn't scan tickets, so it took extra long to get into the stadium?
It's trial by fire at this point.
trial
Oh,
by
yeah.
fire.
There's
It's
a lot of
tri-
fire.
It's literally trial by dumpster fire. Like, this is like ridiculous. I really want to know where they're not fooling anyone. The rest of the MLS sees pictures of RBA empty, and not just empty, half empty. Dude.
You're talking about a primetime team that has been in this league
I
since
have-
day one.
1 point behind Seattle for Team of the Decade.
So I want to read off numbers right here.
And we're
I
covering
actually have
seats.
numbers. 59,000 people went to the Nashville home opener. I believe it. You saw the photos. I believe it.
Right, okay, that's an exception. It's a home opener for
40
a brand new club.
40,126 people showed up for Seattle's home opener.
Okay, that's just.
I
that's
believe
just
it.
Seattle being Seattle. That's awesome.
Orlando had a sellout of 25,000 people. I believe it. You saw the photos. Portland, we all watched that game together.
Saw the photos.
25,000 people. I believe that too. LAFC, that's a sellout.
If they had a bigger stadium, they would fill it.
Oh my! If
In Portland?
LAFC had a stadium of 40,000 people, they would sell out.
Oh yeah, probably. At least the first game of the season.
Like, and this is the thing that's baffling me. These are stadiums that are hitting their sellout sellout amount, and their maximum capacity is less than RBA. But RBA gets off with the fact that we have tarps. That's embarrassing.
It sounds like some of these teams actually signed players too,
Ooh, you don't say.
which is kind of
What is-
odd.
You're gonna have to explain this to me. I've been at RBA a while. What is signing a player?
So there's been
Terry Henry.
there's been a massive
2000
debate.
Wait,
I've-
Terry Henry didn't just show up. And
I thought you were only allowed to sign one player in your entire team's history. Like that's it.
That's it. That's,
No.
let me check
That's
the
not.
let me check the papers here. Let me check here real quick. Yep, it's one player
Per lifetime.
per lifetime.
And then you get stuck with Buckmaster just to dump him before the open.
Waive them.
Hold on,
Because
hold
we
on,
have so
hold on.
many players that we can just start waiving.
So
people.
that's what's pissed me off this week. What's making me really happy this week is whoever from Red Bull decided that Reese Buckmaster is not
Round
good
of
enough.
applause. A round of applause. I would actually like to personally.
Happy trails. I hope you find a
I
team.
would like to
good
personally-
Hey
luck
Reese,
in
hey
your
Reese,
future.
if you ever want to come on the podcast,
I will insult you in person.
he
And
will.
you can drown yourselves with some.
I
beers.
want to personally take credit for this because I have been
After
cheating
episode
on Reese
one.
Buckmaster for half of last season and all of the off season, and then lo and behold, I'm in the parking lot getting wasted before the game, and someone tells me that Buckmaster got waived, and I'm just like, shit, I gotta keep drinking now. Can't stop.
Today
Won't
was a good
stop.
day for you.
Yeah, right. It's like, yeah. What was that movie? Or that fucking song?
Oh, that
Yeah,
you know that song?
today-
That song.
The movie.
Today
with
That
the song.
movie.
Yeah, you know what it
The
is.
movie
Yeah.
with the song.
With the
Yeah,
guy in it,
fine.
yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
There's a time.
That
and a
person
place
sang that
with a
song?
thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Today was a
We
good
won't
day.
say it for copyright purposes. But,
Today was-
you know what we mean.
You could tell me for copyright purposes. I have no idea what he's talking
So
about.
I'll write it down for you and show you in a second.
Today was a good day.
Well, all right.
Keep drinking.
Yeah, no. There's that, but no, we have a lot to dive into with our
First
MLS.
week?
Yeah, first week. It was a good first week.
Very
It was a
interesting.
crazy first
Definitely
week.
not what we thought was going to happen when we were doing predictions last
No,
week.
Not gonna lie.
no.
Not gonna lie.
We thought there was going to be some blowouts.
I call Montreal.
You and I
You-
both
you
called
did?
Montreal.
Like, I thought I was the only one to call that.
No, I called Montreal with you. Yes, I did.
There was one match where I was the only one to call it. But,
So we have to make like some cool graphic and chart thing so we can continue to track it
If
the
someone
rest
would
of the season.
If someone would put
So
it up.
everybody can check it out for the points. But Dre's leading with 6, which is pretty cool. Kyle's got 5, and Alex, Matt, and Mua are all tied with
as
4.
my boy Takashi69 in jail says, "Shget it." No, that's
He
not
ain't in
Takashi.
jail,
That's
boy.
that's Lil Pump.
He's out.
That's Lil Pump says that. I'm sorry, not Takashi. Lil Pump. Shget it.
They're not all the same person.
To you.
Why did I think that exact same thing?
Why?
Wait,
It might as well be.
No, honestly,
At
if you
this
told
point.
me walking in that little puppy Takashi 69 were the same person, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
You know
That makes sense.
Takashi 69.
Yeah,
this
Takashi
tracks.
69
He comes to the
sits
Red Bull
two-
games.
Yeah, he sits 2 rows in front of us.
Oh! You're not wrong.
Shout out to the one kid
Shout
in the
out.
Takashi 69 jersey.
Red
It
Bull
is really
jersey,
funny.
Epic.
Takashi
It is
69.
really cool.
You're our favorite human being on earth, and we love you and appreciate
Jump
all
on the pod, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah, so-
Nashville, Miami debuts. We talked about them in episode 1. Yeah, I don't have the scores in front of me, and I got to be honest, I didn't watch the games. So
Nashville?
Wow.
2-1 Atlanta?
I told you there was hockey on Sunday.
So it's yeah.
God.
So Atlanta.
Why are you here?
I don't know. I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. I gotta go.
Yeah. So
I don't even
Atlanta.
recognize you.
Atlanta.
Let me grab my keys.
Atlanta won 2-1 against Nashville. So like I think we should dive into that first. And first and foremost, I want to just and very clear, I want to say this out loud. The best save from midfield I've ever seen. Kyle is like, so I was watching it in a separate place and Kyle was watching it in a separate place, and Kyle texts me, he goes, "Is that not the best save from midfield you've ever seen?" Where the goalie from Nashville, I don't have his name, literally made a save using his hands at midfield. He literally jumped up and
Yep.
just swatted it
Oh,
away.
okay, yeah,
And
yeah.
he just swatted it away.
I'm thinking
I'm
like,
screaming, that's a red card.
and,
Nope.
and he got a yellow.
Yellow?
And you could tell he was walking back to the goal
And
going,
he's
like,
I'm so
"Fuck."
good at this.
and the MLS,
He's just in shame. Like,
the
oh,
MLS
shit.
has VAR.
I was about to say, like,
Hey, it's like I
always.
played volleyball in high school. I got this.
Wait, we're not playing?
We got VAR. Someone's fucking up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you think, like, we have this world of VAR where it's not the English Premier League where the MLS actually knows how to use it. I don't even think they reviewed this. I think, like, yellow card's fine. It's fine.
You think he'll be playing next week?
Dude, with
I
how
wanna
drunk
know-
I get, with how drunk I get in games, I think I could be a referee. I mean, shit, if they make calls like that, I can make calls like
I mean,
that.
most Red Bull games, they forget their cards at home.
Well, if it's too hard being an MLS referee, you could definitely be an EPL referee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just get hammered and walk out on the pitch and
Yeah.
wave flags. I can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
No, overall, though,
Sign me up.
I mean, if we're talking, like, let's just talk Nashville's debut. I think Nashville kind of, at least for me,
Oh yeah, big
they
time.
That game was a tie, right?
No, they lost 2-1 against
2-1.
Atlanta.
Oh,
But I'm-
okay,
But I'm telling you right
Took
now,
that time
first
to
and
set.
foremost, I want to. This is for Nashville. Way to show up. I mean,
Yeah.
59,000 people.
That's insane.
That dude for your debut, that's great. Dude.
Awesome.
Their
Like,
stadium was packed. Their supporter section was full.
Right.
like
Day 1.
day one.
Yeah.
Good for them. No, I mean overall good for Nashville. And honestly, a lot of us counted Nashville out. If you listened to last week's episode,
Oh, without a doubt. I think we all said Atlanta.
everyone
thought-
said that.
Yeah.
Well, no, we all said Atlanta, but I'm talking more along the lines of none of us.
You just
had,
don't. You don't know. You
Well,
know,
none
it's a
of
brand
us
new.
had-
You go with what you know.
Well,
That's why I
none,
remember
none of
Atlanta.
us, none of us had
You were-
any faith whatsoever that Nashville
None of us
would
knew
even
that
show.
Martinez would tear his fucking ACL.
Well, we're gonna,
Well,
we're
that's
gonna,
Right. We're going right into
Well,
that in a
Nashville-
second.
We're gonna get into
Well,
that.
Martinez or no Martinez, Nashville played a hell of a game against.
Regardless, yeah.
Atlanta.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was very
They came out swinging.
You know what? That's what you do. Yes, it's a loss. Yes, it's upsetting that your first ever game as an MLS franchise is a loss. But I'm telling you right now, you got the rest of the MLS.
You also played one of the
Like the
really
powerhouse,
good, like
the
top
powerhouse
tier
of the
teams
You're
in that
playing-
league.
Imagine them against any other team now.
They would
Nashville-
have beat a lot of the teams.
Nashville plays against Red Bull. They win.
Thank God that's
In
not.
the second, in the second half,
We
yeah.
don't have that this year.
You're right.
No, but then to turn it around, like honestly, like Nashville, like I said, surprised us, and I think we can say the exact same thing for Inter Miami. I mean, Inter Miami, they came in. Now we all thought that Inter Miami would be something a little bit better than Nashville, but to play against the best team in the MLS and LAFC, I mean, we all sat in this room and watched this game. LAFC were literally getting matched toe to toe against a brand new franchise. Now it took a
Good
world.
chemistry.
It took a world of a goal from Carlos Vela.
Oh yeah.
Beauty.
First of all, gorgeous. I mean, first and foremost, rest in peace, Luis Robles. He was dead and buried in the back of the net. I mean, that's the first time I've ever seen Luis Robles hanging in the back of the net, looking there like, man, I wish I had Connor Lade in front of me.
What's sad is that that's what he's gonna be
Connor
remembered
Lade.
by.
Not even like Aaron Long
No.
or Tarek. No, just straight to Connor
No, I
Lade.
need Connor Lade.
Yeah. What's sad is that that's what he's gonna probably be like remembered for in this game. But he had incredible saves.
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire
yeah.
He
game.
kept them in the game.
100%.
I mean, we all were.
I'm
watching,
following
no,
this team for that
no,
man
we
right
were
there.
we were all watching like a couple of those saves he had no business making,
Insane.
and then you're sitting there going, man, I really wish he was still. with us."
Yeah.
I think anybody who's a Red Bull fan knows
You ever
that
see the
he
Wolverine?
can easily keep
You
you
ever
in a
see
game.
the Wolverine meme where it's just him crying into a picture, an old picture? I
Yeah.
feel like that's every Red Bull fan watching Luis Robles make that save. They're like,
That could have been us.
Hold on, don't say that. Luis never wore a hat during a game.
Which we'll dive into.
Yes,
Very
apparently
soon.
Denmark has no sun.
Yeah, it's weird. They don't get that.
His name Jensen.
If you told me that Denmark didn't have sun, like we were just having a basic conversation, you told me Denmark just doesn't see sun, I'd believe you because I'm like, I don't know Denmark. I mean,
Yeah,
do they
Matt.
not have sun? I mean, there are places in this earth that only have sun like 2 months out of the entire year. I'd believe you. if
Antarctica,
Denmark was one
Alaska,
of them.
places like that, where they have odd times of the year.
What the hell is this?
I'm sorry, I'm not good at geography. Like, isn't Denmark?
I'm not good at geology.
It's
Geology-
it's next to Wisconsin somewhere.
It's something.
Yeah, it's over there somewhere.
Dude, I have a tough time pointing out where Alaska is on the map. Leave
It's
me
alright.
alone.
Is it part of the United States, man?
Yes.
Just making sure.
The only reason why I know
Is
that
Wisconsin?
is because it's on A and E.
Definitely not.
Because it's
Okay.
on A and E. It's on Alaska PD. That's the only reason I know.
Touche.
All right, Matt. I'm gonna give you a red card. We're going straight into Columbus.
Holy,
NYC.
I'm getting a red card. What is it? The 3rd minute? Oh my God! What is this? The NYCFC game?
Yeah.
Did I at least touch him?
No, you didn't. But we could have totally double checked and saw that.
Oh yeah, maybe
But
if
we
we
didn't.
actually used VAR.
What is
right?
VAR?
I don't know what VAR is.
VAR.
Neither does the referee at the national game.
No, not the national game. We're talking about NYCFC now. We all watched that game. Oh my God, that
That
defender.
was,
Dude,
he didn't touch him. He didn't touch him. I'm sorry. He
Dude,
didn't touch him.
everyone on earth saw his own.
I was
feet.
watching that like, I mean, fuck NYCFC, but yeah, no.
So like honestly, I think the topic that we're going into right now is Columbus is
Winning.
Is Columbus
1-0.
legit or lucky? And I have again, good for Columbus. They won.
I'm gonna start this off
I know you
Go
will.
ahead,
because
go
I'm
ahead.
one of the 2 people that actually picked Columbus.
Three. There are 3 people in this room that.
All for the crew.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think whether or not you think the red card was legit, it definitely did stop
It was
a.
legit crap.
What did it stop?
The claim was that his right foot got on the left foot of the attacker.
He flat tired him.
He basically flat
The
tired and
attacker's
knocked him
left
over.
foot hit the attacker's right foot, and he went down. The fact there was an NYCFC defender just within 5 yards, they're like, oh, stops a goal-scoring opportunity, red card. Come on.
I mean,
3 minutes in.
I watched
first
it
game of
back
the
a
season.
bunch.
3 minutes.
I feel like a
in.
yellow.
Come on.
I feel like a
I
yellow.
watched it back
Okay,
a lot,
but
and I
to
can.
go
I could.
to that
I
extreme.
think there could be a point made for contact. I don't know if it was enough for a card, let alone a red card.
Kyle, you and
at
I
all.
watched the replay multiple times next to each other. You have the audacity to look me in the eye and tell me that the call was maybe right?
I'm saying there could have been contact.
Oh my God, you're the Man United fan saying Harry Maguire didn't kick.
I'm saying there could have been contact. I don't think it was anywhere near heavy enough for a red. I don't think that was called for at all.
There was no contact.
Well, either way, that could have been easily up 1-0 if he doesn't trip or get knocked down, whatever happened.
I get NYCFC maybe not have started their most aggressive lineup, but I'm telling you right now, when you go down a man in the 3rd minute, I don't care if you're Barcelona, you're having a tough day at the office.
And NYC really consolidated and tried their best to play D.
And they did a good job.
They
at
did.
It, too,
it only ended
1-0.
Yeah.
Right.
They did a good job of consolidating
I don't
there.
know. I mean, Alex, you saw this highlight. You saw
I
this
think
highlight.
Colombia's legit. I think. Oh, the highlight.
No,
I mean,
The red.
Right
the
now,
red. I'm
I'm
with Matt on this one. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that was a justified red.
But I think there are a few things to take out of this win, regardless if it was down 10th man, completely ignoring anybody's opinions on the red card. The starters can get it done. Zelarayan is clearly the real deal. He was involved in most of their attack.
Right.
He was involved in most of the key plays. You have clear depths on the team with Diaz, who was a starter last year, coming off the bench. Fernando Adi, Caden's debut, who all came off the bench and did a stellar job cleaning it up. In addition to Nagby, of course, locking it up. I think they have clear depth, and I think that despite the red card, I think they showed what they're capable of.
I think Nagby's gonna be dividends like massive for.
Oh yeah,
Columbus
Darlington
this year.
Nagby is a great signing for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's got a lot of ML experience, right?
He's been on multiple ML between Portland and Atlanta. He's a winner.
And those are two.
He's a winner. He's a winner who's won things.
Right.
Like you can be a winner.
Absolutely.
Like there are winners just in general, but
Wait, let him explain himself.
there's winners.
I know what he's talking about. I know what he's
You understand what
I
I'm
know.
saying.
I know what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
sounding crazy here. There's plenty of winners.
Not right now. No.
Steven Gerrard is a winner. He didn't win much, but he's a winner. But there's winners who actually win things.
Touch of class. Very nice.
Okay? Marc Messier
You're
is
gonna
a winner who won things.
You're gonna have to explain that.
Are you
too.
gonna
I
really
don't root for many
segue into
teams that
Henrik
do that.
Lundqvist being a winner but not really winning things?
I'm sorry, am I wrong?
Wrong
No, you're
podcast.
no.
Podcast.
You're
Wrong
100%
podcast.
right, but we're not gonna go into hockey. We're gonna talk about Martinez getting his ACL or whatever exploded, and
Sucks. Honestly, you hate to see it
you hate to see it happen.
at all.
Especially
Like,
week
you
one.
hate to see it at all. And I was saying you hate to see
Day
it
one?
week one. When last year the Golden Boot race was Martinez Vey. You had Zlatan in there when we had Zlatan in the
Of course,
league.
we had Zlatan.
But goddamn, you hate to see it in week one. I'm, not an Atlanta fan. I love nothing more than for
But at the
Atlanta
same
to not
time, you don't
win
wish
the league.
something bad
No, of
upon.
course
them.
not.
Right, I
Well,
never
right.
wish.
You
I
know
never
what?
wish injuries
He-
on
he-
opposing
he
players.
makes
You know what?
watching them
You know what?
so
But
fun.
it really sucked that it happened this early in the
He's
season.
an extremely
man.
dynamic player.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think, and there's two things to take away from the Joseph Martinez thing. One, so three things. Number
Yeah,
one.
you have to stretch before you play.
No, not.
This guy stretches. This guy stretches.
Three things. So, number one, and I've made it very, very clear, I wish nothing the best for Joseph Martinez. I really hope this guy comes back, and he comes back stronger. I really hope he comes back stronger.
I think you will.
Number two, so the second thing I want to bring up here, first of all, there is a ton of MLS fans between chat rooms, Reddit, social media pages, and whatnot that are physically making fun of the fact that he's hurt. If you are making fun of another player getting hurt, I don't care if they're your rival. I don't care if it's your best player. I don't care.
Rival or not, you want to beat them when they're the best. Because then you know that you're better.
But it's not even that. You don't wish ill upon us.
Supporter section to supporter section banter, fan to fan banter is one thing, but honestly,
'Cause it's
wishing
comical
something
for the
like this
most
on
part.
somebody and being genuinely happy over it.
Red Bull fan right
is
here.
not
Every single
okay.
person in this room is a Red Bull fan. I would never want anything bad to happen to Maxi Morales. Okay, that's just not right. I would rather.
Bill Hamid.
Yeah, I was about to say.
None of that.
I was about to say. I'm seeing so many people, I'm seeing Orlando fans, I'm seeing Nashville fans, I'm seeing a lot of Atlanta's direct rivals, haha, he's hurt. Are you kidding me right now?
I told you, you want to play them at their best, and when you beat them at their best, that means you're better.
Justin, absolutely, that's a great point. But the other point is, how do we attract more attention to the MLS when one of the star players is out?
That was my third point.
Like,
you have
we as MLS fans, even as Red Bull fans, we want more attention to our home domestic league, to the team that we call ours, and the league that we call ours. We want more attention. We don't want one of the best star players that came here from other places and made a name for himself and drew attention to himself to go out. Well, we want this league to be competitive, to draw more attention and more stars and more competitive players to come here. You only get that when your star players are healthy.
And that's exactly it. That's exactly what my third point was going to be, is you have to understand we need people to watch MLS to keep it growing. And the problem you have here is when your best players are on the bench for 4 months, 5 months, rehabbing from an ACL tear, that's the problem you have. Like, that's the big problem you have. And that's it. You need your best players on the field. It's a marketing thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, do you know how, like, don't get me wrong, though. I mean, I'm going to dive in really quickly on this. A lot of people are like, is Atlanta going to be okay? Is Atlanta going to be okay?
Do you think they're going to be contenders in the MLS Cup?
I don't know about Cup. So you have to remember, Joseph Martinez should still come back before the playoffs.
Right.
Dude, Angel Gomes from Everton.
Everybody's different.
His
Everybody's
leg.
different.
That's what I'm saying.
For
But
Christ's
still,
sake,
even if it's 3 to 4 months
his
out, it's 3 to 4 months
leg
without him.
literally snapped in the wrong direction.
Let's not forget what could happen. Velo got his ACL torn in the first or second game, and he didn't come back all year.
Mm-hmm.
He was gone the entire
Left
year.
one first, then the right one the next year.
But I look at it, the East is still a weaker conference. If he was in the Western Conference, I think Atlanta might be fighting for a playoff spot. I don't know if Atlanta now wins the league, or at least wins the East, but I still think Atlanta is definitely going to get in the playoffs. I think Joseph Martinez still gets in, but when you really look at it, you have players like, you have Franco, you have Martinez, you have Bronco, you have Emerson, you have these other players who are all star players on their own, who can all, like, yes, Frank de Boer no longer has his number one guy. But you know what? The system that he's put in place, I think Atlanta's going to be just fine.
Well, continuing on what De Boer and Atlanta's thinking, do you think they're going to go with an emergency number 9, or do you think they're going to try and find somebody elsewhere to replace him for the season?
I think if they're smart, because I believe Atlanta's now starting to get that youth system in place. They have Atlanta United too. Mm-hmm. I don't think going out and rushing a free agent signing is the answer right now.
You let it play out for a couple weeks, and you're basically in the early part of the season.
I was about to say, right now, if you lose your next 3 or 4 games, or if you draw your next 3 or 4
you'll be
games,
fine.
it's not the end of the world. Again, it is the beginning of the season. It's a lot different from this happening in the middle of the season to the end of the season. But I think for at least Atlanta United, work some youth players in there. I mean, look at how.
If you're going to go in emergency number 9, I think there's another Martinez, Pity Martinez. I think he showed that, he's proven it. I think he's a decent shot at the emergency number 9 spot.
My only thing is,
I wouldn't say even decent. He's proven he won the
I only say decent because it's like, it's one thing if you're coming on as a striker. It's another thing to have to replace somebody like that.
Well, that's
They're like 2 different levels of.
He won the South American Champions League, the Copa Libertadores in South America with Boca. So not Boca, wow, with the other team, River Plate. So he's not a piece of shit. Like, he's a good fucking player.
He's not a piece of shit. I'm telling you right now, though. I mean, I really think you look at
drinking out here.
I think Atlanta.
Thanks, Drake.
But it's exactly what I said before. I think Atlanta is
Fuck,
still.
dude. Pause. That shit tastes like a fucking creamsicle.
Motherfucker! Of course it tastes like a creamsicle.
There's a creamsicle on the freaking label, man.
I got you, but like I just finished my Broken Skull IPA,
Which is
grabbed,
delicious, by the way.
It is, right?
Fuck,
so
that is actually pretty good.
I
don't even drink beer.
I grabbed one of Kyle's
You're gonna drink beer?
Bolero
No, definitely
Snort
not.
Brewery.
There's a reason I snuck over to
fucking
ESC to
beers?
grab one on Sunday.
Dude, I feel like I had to sip during the tailgate, but now that I'm having like one of these, I'm like, fuck me dead. Half this podcast is beer. Some fucking good shit.
So going back into what I was saying, I still think Atlanta's got plenty of firepower. I don't see Atlanta, like I said, maybe Atlanta doesn't win the East. Maybe Atlanta doesn't compete for a supporter shield. Who knows? Maybe Atlanta just squeaks into the playoffs. But in my opinion, you look at it with the way modern medicine is now, and the way people rehab back from injuries.
6 to 8 months he'll be back. Richmond. He'll be back before the end of the season.
I was about to say he's going to be back for the playoff run. If anything, he'll be 100% for the playoff run. And
Like I said, that
and that's a
depends. We
problem.
saw Velo not come back,
Yes.
so it is a thing that could
No,
happen.
It's
and,
true.
and I get that, but unfortunately,
Are we ready to transition? Because he just brought up a name, and I want to talk about that. Because
are we going to? So what? We're going to dive into Red Bull versus Cincinnati.
I am about it because I was never a Velo fanboy
Until this weekend.
until this weekend. Because not gonna lie,
Guy's good,
homeboy
dude.
Showed the fuck up.
I think you can probably see it as well as him. We're all season ticket holders. In the last few years, like in the few games he's played before he got hurt, I think he showed signs of greatness.
Right, he showed signs.
And then he goes down,
and
and assuming he could stay healthy for this whole year, I
Yeah.
think we're in for quite
a
a year from him.
Like our midfield, we have Kaku, we have Davis, we have Velo. I'm happy with that. Not like if Velo stays healthy, we might get to the point where we have like legitimate competition
No, we won't.
for a midfield spot.
No, we won't. What are you talking about?
The only
We-
competition, in my opinion,
is
for a
Alex
midfield
Mill.
spot.
Is Alex Mill. You got to understand, at that right wing...
Can we play a lineup where we have Velo, Davis, Kaku, and Roy all on at the same time? I mean, we did
Yes.
it.
Well,
we
that's-
did it last
that's
weekend,
my
but
whole
I don't know
thing.
if all those are playing in their
The
natural
issue you're going to
positions.
have here, though, is you're burning a DP. So the Red Bull currently now are burning a DP spot on Josh Sims, who rides bench. You have to...
One game into the season, Matt. We're one game in.
If you watched any of the preseason games, the way that Chris Armas is setting up this system,
I watched 0.
proud of you. I really am. I want everyone who's listening to this podcast to know how
You
proud
want me
I
to
am.
watch a
Preseason.
game in the middle of Phoenix at 1 o'clock when I'm at work? Go fuck yourself.
What do you mean Phoenix at 1 o'clock? This game's kicked off at like 8 o'clock at night.
Go fuck yourself.
If you can find the one magical streaming company that actually fucking
Yeah,
carried it.
what would it fucking like?
I
don't know
will
where to
hook
find
you
that
up
stream.
with the gold.
Red Bull
Fucking iPhone
streamed
quality.
every one of their games on Twitter.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't have Twitter,
I don't have
so I don't
Twitter.
care.
Oh my god, you
Did we
fucking-
make one for this podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, check
That's
us out.
I'm saying
at Posts
personally,
and Pints.
I had a Twitter and I just stopped using it.
I just don't have
Nothing
Twitter.
good came from Twitter.
But I think if we're talking about the midfield, though,
If we can find a lineup with those 4 players in there, I'm all about it.
well, I have a lot of good things to say about the midfield as shown by this game, and my only negative things to say about midfield is I think our worst spot at the midfield is the guy that's not going to come off.
Our captain
was the
Sean
worst spot
Davis.
in that midfield.
It's we talked
The
about
one thing
this.
about the midfield, though, that I did enjoy is it seemed like Royer was playing more of a center forward and not so much a mid position. I think he really shines in that role.
Absolutely.
Right. We talked about this a lot last year before we ever started this podcast, but we all talked about it. Sean Davis, and he's the captain now, but Sean Davis was always that guy that flew under the radar as not being amazing, not being horrible, would never get injured. He was consistently just like a mid-range player, and so much of the discussion was always around, oh, BWP's injured. Oh, we have this new guy from Southampton, Josh James, coming in. Oh, Kaku's doing amazing, and then he gets a red card, and then he does that crazy shit with the fan, and then all these other.
It's a pretty quick way to explain
I'll
that.
gloss
So,
over
no,
some
we
crazy
won't.
shit.
That's it.
But all these other, newsworthy stories surrounding the Red Bull that no one ever stops to think of, like, Sean Davis is an average at best footballer. That's slightly above maybe at times.
I saw a lot
But-
of easy give. He gave the ball away a decent
But,
amount.
like,
There was a lot of
he's that guy that
mistakes.
just somehow always slides under the radar because he never fucks up bad enough where something's his fault.
Yeah.
And he never shines bright enough where we won a game because of him. Which the other players, we've won games because of Kaku. We've won games because of Sims. And we've lost games because of Tim Parker. And we've
Kaku.
lost games because of Kaku.
Kaku kicking the ball at
Okay, that was the 90th minute, whatever.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you want to say it?
Shut up.
Are we allowed to say it?
But
not on this podcast.
Didn't think so.
We have a nickname for Dre, but
We all have nicknames.
we'll reveal that later in the season.
But I'm going to segue off of what you said, shine bright enough. I think White has been I think people have been sleeping on him because his goal count hasn't been the highest. He hasn't been contributing as much as you'd like a striker to. But at least in the first game of the season, a lot of his coverage and a lot of his keeping on his guy directly opened up Royer for that one, for his goal. He did a lot to create those goals, and I think he maybe shines brighter than people give him credit for.
Right.
If I'm gonna break down the Cincinnati versus Red Bull game, there's a couple things that I want to bring in, at least talk about with this game. The first thing is I'm really glad that the Red Bull started their home opener against Cincinnati, because I feel like if the Red Bull started against any other team in the MLS,
It's a good way to get confidence.
No, every season needs a tune-up
Thanks,
game.
MLS, for that schedule.
Yeah, but that's what
Appreciate
I'm saying. Every season needs a tune-up game. I'm really upset that the Red Bull needed theirs when the season actually started. You do understand if we drew any other team for week 1, we would have had a problem. I feel like the Red Bull would have had a problem.
Yeah.
I'm really glad. And I'm actually excited. I was really upset when Chris Armas originally came out hey, we're going to play the 4-2-2 system. And I'm sitting here in Europe, that's dead. No one in Europe. Red Bull Leipzig gets away with it, and that's because they have strikers and central midfielders that actually can keep the pace. And when Chris Armas said that they were going to start using it, I'm sitting here in the MLS that
I think it worked. I think there was some confusion in shifting and staying in formation, but I think it worked.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm actually glad that it looks like that system worked in place. I put this on all my social medias, and I'm going to say it right now. The Red Bull have to protect Kyle Duncan and Florian Velo with everything they have. They physically need to protect these two.
Velo, I had this thing where I knew he was good, and I just wanted...
No, seriously, those two.
Yeah.
I want Kyle Duncan and Florian Velo wrapped in bubble wrap between games. Because I physically don't want these two out in public ever on the off chance that something happens to one of them. Because
No, they will be the two MVPs of the season,
but that's exactly what
in my opinion.
You saw their overlap.
Yeah.
You saw Florian Velo drag his defender into the middle of the field, and he literally all had to do was just turn a little bit, feed the ball to Kyle Duncan. With Kyle Duncan's
he played him
pace,
perfectly.
With Kyle Duncan's pace, you have to understand Kyle Duncan could have scored the second or third minute of this game.
He missed one, and then he got a second.
He literally
right?
got
he
the
missed
second
when he
one.
got the second.
But that's what I'm saying.
Didn't he have a hand in an additional goal as
Velo
well?
had his hand in Kaku's goal.
So
Velo had that.
Velo had the
beautiful-
assist for
Duncan-
Kaku and Duncan,
Right.
and then Duncan had the assist for Royer's third goal.
Duncan had 2 assists and a goal in this game. For a right back, that's a good day at the office.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know if it answers all of our defensive woes, because that's actually the last thing I want to go into, and this is the reason why I'm really glad that we got Cincinnati to start the season. And the biggest concern I'm going to have here is it's Tim Parker. Tim Parker is the senior staff member on that defensive back line, and during that game, he is 7 yards in front of the defensive back line. So the defensive back line is holding a specific line, which is good. That's what you expect your back line to do. But I really don't expect the senior member of that back line to be pinching 7 yards forward, playing strikers on side, and then from there, I mean, dude, you let a striker go between your legs for a breakaway.
That's the thing with me about Parker.
He needs Aaron Long.
We know him.
He needs
Yeah,
Aaron
we
Long.
know him as the guy that can get it done. But how much of him being an elite player was Aaron Long being an elite player? Because I don't think it's a coincidence. Around the time Aaron Long started to get out of form a little bit, Parker started to do it too.
In that goal, since his second goal, Parker's probably the main one to blame. But Parker's one of my favorite players on the team. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat and defend him, but there were other players as well that you can lay some blame on. Turek stopped his run because he assumed once the player was one-on-one with Jensen, it was a goal. Jensen made the block. He made the stop. If Turek continued his run, didn't give up, he did. He made the block. It went under his legs. But if Turek had continued his run, after Jensen makes that block and the ball's slowed down and barely bouncing towards the line, if Turek could have contested it against that Cincy player that scored the goal, we might have had something.
Well, we've seen
there.
situations like that in other games this weekend as well.
There were other.
If you would have just ...
Right. There were other midfielders that the pass leading up to that goal, they were way out of position. you know, it's I'm hoping it's cobwebs.
I have to admit though, the one
I'm
guy.
hoping Tim Parker can shake him off and go back to where the form where I know he can be great. What's up with Aaron Long? I feel like I missed that. Did he get hurt in the preseason?
Yeah,
or we just...
Yeah.
I think towards the end
Injury.
of the preseason he picked up a
Is
little.
there a
I think
report
he
on how
picked
long
up. He
he's
went to
gonna be back?
Walmart. He got express lane.
Yeah.
I will
You know what,
never.
from now on,
I
I
will
want
never
all my-
understand it that this is the only league that they say that.
Like
Pick
From
off
now
the
on, I
injury.
want all my players to get their injuries delivered by like Dash Door or Uber Eats.
Dash door?
DoorDash.
Dash door?
He's a bag of dicks.
Where are you from? Is that what they call it?
Do you guys want anything from Eat Uber?
Where are you from? Slovakia? Is that what they call it in Slovakia?
No.
Dash door?
Dash door.
No, we cook our own food in fucking Ukraine.
Yeah, that's right. No one has dash door in Ukraine.
So, the
No,
consensus is Red Bull's good, or
No,
is Cincy
no,
better?
no. I honestly, I think the second. I mean, we have.
I'm saying a little of both.
no.
Cincy is
Our
clearly
defense
headed
needs a lot
towards
of-
bottom of the table again.
Oh yeah, no.
I
I'm
don't
not-
think
bottom.
that's.
No,
But not all the way at the bottom.
I think Cincy definitely kind of showed the fact that like, hey, we got all these new additions. That doesn't mean anything. If you're letting the Red Bull, who are going through this big transition, like the Red Bull are going through a rebuild. If you're letting the Red Bull go through a rebuild, score 3 goals on you, that's a problem on your own organization. And I think that that's something that they're going to have to work on throughout the year. But I'm, as a Red Bull fan, and all of us as a Red Bull fan, I think this upcoming year.
For me, anyway, it was a tale of two halves. Like, the rebuild didn't seem so as bad as it has been in the first half. They played very much like they did under Jesse. They pressed. They did their job. They played the Red Bull system of football, and it showed.
You saw, dude, 2-0 going
Then in
into
that
halftime.
second,
Yeah, I mean,
and then in that second half, once that second half started, they seemed to play the way
I see
they
your
seem to be the team
true
from last year. The team
colors
that
shining.
they seem to be the team from last year. The team that lost to Atlanta in the MLS Cup. The way Armis seems to want them to play once they score and take a lead, where they sit back and they play defense.
You kind of lay off
Don't
the.
be afraid.
And I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but it kind of the team looks uncomfortable playing that way.
You're true.
Well, listen, man. We have another game coming up against RSL this weekend, so we'll see how we do there. Boys, what do we got next?
I just want to touch base on LA FC and how they look.
So actually, as soon as we all got home from the Red Bull game, we sat down, grabbed some more beers. I don't know if you all noticed the theme of this podcast, but we like the beers.
I was pretty out of it by then.
We're all pretty out of it.
no,
That
honestly,
next morning,
I was on like 3 hours
Yeah, I
of
was about
sleep
to say,
from games straight
I
here, and
give-
they're like,
I
"Oh, we're
Uh,
gonna watch more games." I'm like, "Yeah, all right." I'm gonna get
Alex-
comfy on the couch.
Alex immediately went from a bachelor party weekend where he got no sleep, literally drove straight from PA right to RBA, and this dude didn't miss a step. Immediately went right into drinking. Like he's just like,
Well,
I've been drinking all weekend, so
I
know, just-
didn't really stop. I mean, there was that like
There was
2.5
a
hours in the
pause.
car where like legally I had to stop. Well, legally I'm saying that because this is a podcast. I feel
Yeah,
like.
A lot of
Yes,
things we
'cause
have to redact from the weekend legally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes, because the FBI is definitely listening on post.
Yes, yeah, and possibly people that know me as well. So
Anyway, so we all got home. We started watching the LAFC game, and what do you got there, boys?
I mean, they look good.
They did.
Yep.
I
I'm
mean,
telling you all,
that
but
was
Inter-
as exciting to see.
Inter Miami. If we were talking about like what we were at the beginning of our MLS podcast, Inter Miami definitely surprised all of us because I knew they were going to be good. Like they're going to at least show good faith this year. But to take the best team in the MLS and fight them toe to toe every step of the way, and don't get me wrong, it literally took the perfect goal from Carlos Vela, who, if he's putting those goals in the first week of the season, I am terrified.
That's the reason LAFC wins that game, because Vela looks to be in mid-season form
Right.
week 1.
And here's what's
Great.
really indicative of this game.
That's
Everyone,
an SAT word.
everyone's kind of was waiting to see how Miami would play. Are they going to show up? Or they're not going to show up? And then during the game, there was a stat they showed on the screen that the starting 11 of Inter Miami had a combined 850 or 860 MLS games played. And that right there, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, all right, they're good to go. You can definitely have the quality there when you have 800-plus games between your starting 11. That's quality right there, boys.
So one of our favorites in the West had a pretty tough time against Chicago. I don't know anybody else's opinion, but it seemed to be Chicago's game to lose
Dude, I said
more than
I'm
Seattle's game to win.
I'm of the opinion that Chicago's logo is trash.
I mean, even if you look at just the first even if you look at just the first half, like there's 2 Chicago goals called offside that could have easily ran away from them immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like had formations been a little different, that's right there. Run away from Seattle.
I mean, I'm telling you right now. I mean, me personally, if you listen to Week 1, what did I say? I think Seattle was going to win by like 5 or 6 goals, and Chicago came out and was like, "Hey, I understand that we've lost a couple key players in the offseason, but Chicago's game plan was perfect.
Absolutely.
They played Seattle as good as any team last year played against Seattle.
Their goalie did fantastic.
And well, I mean, hats off to the man in the gloves. But I'm
Yep.
telling you right now, outside of Jordan Morris getting the luckiest of all lucky bounces in the 93rd minute, you have to understand, if Chicago walked away that game with a draw, they might as well have just celebrated like they've won the MLS Cup.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right
My
now.
quick summary on Chicago is I think that they should be proud of the way they played. I think they're quite improved. I think their backs quite lost that game for them, especially
I mean, they're missing Schweinsteiger.
especially Brant Bronico. He started instead of Boris Akulik, they didn't get the deal done in time. There was visa issues. He was just a liability.
Honestly, I think I think Chicago with this is a big momentum. I understand you lost, but I think it's big momentum. I hope that at least for Seattle, for someone who roots, I really hope Seattle does well on a lot of things. I hope this is a wake-up call to make it as a final thing. I really hope this is a wake-up call for Seattle. I think Seattle walked into this game thinking that this was going to be the easiest win of the entire year, and Chicago almost upset them on the day they should have been celebrating an MLS Cup.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And that takes us to predictions as we go into week 2. We will go around and knock it out as fast as humanly possible.
So to kind of recap, last week Dre actually came out as the winner. Last week he came out with 6 correct predictions.
Let's go.
See if he can keep the streak going.
Kyle had 5, coming up just one short.
Not too shabby.
And you know what? Hey, myself, Justin, and Alex all came in with 4. So I'm telling you,
We're not last.
We're not last.
If you're not first, you're
But
last.
you're last.
Shut up.
So we're gonna start right from the top. Saturday's games, New England is hosting Chicago. So Chicago had the great game against Seattle, had a few questions. What are we thinking?
You first, Matt.
Everyone's pointing to me because
Let's
I'm
go.
supposed to be the Dalai Lama.
Well, I wrote your name first.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh.
I'm a little drunk, so we have to go in order.
Okay.
If you want me to keep this
Two
proper tally.
2
let's-
episodes in a row, we're all feeling it really well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking draw. I still think New England has a couple questions they have to answer, and Chicago, if they can, again, they had a good result against Seattle. I understand it's a loss. I think New England not having the same
Get a little bit more
firepower,
of an edge.
I-
game 2.
I think a draws are respectable. I would
Yeah.
not be surprised if Chicago came in and won, but on paper, I want to put the draw.
Bruce Arena gets it. I'm giving it to New England and Bruce Arena.
Can we give it for the burp? That was a
nice
That
burp.
was an 8 out of 10.
And
That was
behind
nice.
Weak.
and behind that burp comes my vote for New England as well.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh my God! I feel like we're getting political in here. Dre's saying all the right things.
Kyle?
I think that if the backline situation with Chicago can get wrapped up, I think they can take that game. But I want to give it to New England if that's not the case.
I want Chicago to win, but I'm gonna give it to them.
Well, we know who's gonna win too.
I want to have pizza.
No. I'm saying I'm saying their backs are clearly where they lost that game, and I think if they can fix it,
Right.
then they can win. But I don't think that's going to be the case because of the visa issue. So I'm giving it to New England.
I want pizza, but I don't want deep dish. Was the exact words that came out of Dre's mouth, and it might have been the most amazing thing I've ever heard you say.
Well, deep dish isn't pizza, so.
It's
soup.
pizza. It's pizza lasagna.
Yeah, that's what it
Pizza
is.
soup. Anyway,
Pizza soup.
I'll take a draw.
Shout out to John. Who's that fucking guy? Fuck it, whatever. Carry on, boy.
God
Game
damn it,
two.
Trey.
Game 2, man.
The big game.
So hold on, just so Alex puts it on paper.
It's
Justin,
down, it's
Justin,
down.
Justin also has a draw because he's agreeing with me because apparently I'm the all-knowing and almighty.
I wasn't agreeing
Keep
with
thinking
you,
that,
but I
buddy.
was
Keep
calling it a
thinking
draw.
that.
Second game of Saturday, RSL hopes the Red Bull
Hopes? Hosts?
hosts.
Yeah, you really need to stop drinking.
Yeah.
RSL hosts the Bulls of New York and New Jersey.
Bulls.
I'm gonna go with the Red Bull. Only reason why, they looked better than I thought they were the previous week, and I know how the rest of you are gonna vote. So this is kind of safety vote because I think you guys are also gonna go with the Red Bull, and I don't want to drop points.
I'm going Red Bull because my boy Kaku is looking in form. If Valo doesn't tear his goddamn ankles in half, he's looking fire.
Why would you
If you're
that?
if you're listening, find the nearest plank of wood and knock on it right
knock
now.
on it. Please knock on it, because I swear, if anything happens to Florian Below, I'm going to drive to Dre's house and beat him up. On camera, Justin's going to record it.
We're just gonna
and
call him
narrate it.
Trey for the rest of the time we know him.
And on top of all that, Royer seems to be continuing some decent form. So I give it to my boys in red.
Not shooting it over
or
the
should,
net.
should I say my boys in black in that
Boys
bomb
in
ass
black.
dark kit? But yeah, I give it to the Red Bull.
I punched Dre in advance, just in case you didn't hear on the podcast. I actually punched Dre in advance, because if Florian Below goes down,
We're all beating the shit
we're
out
all
of
going to
you.
beat the crap out of
He's
you.
We're hitting you with
He's gonna
Kyle's
turn
truck.
into a
Send
pinata at the
help.
tailgate.
I'm being bullied. Send to help.
Send the
Those
eyewitness emoji.
those safe stands aren't safe enough.
All right, Alex, what do you got, bud?
Dude, even though, I mean, the defensive line isn't looking that great, and I have my doubts about Jensen, I'm
Wait,
still going to go with Red Bull.
Do we have a timetable for Aaron Long's return?
I didn't know he was going. I didn't even know
don't
he was like
know.
really hurt going in.
Yeah.
I like honestly.
So, like, might he be back this
he
week?
may be.
Possibly, I don't know
I
any
think,
kind of-
Well, fuck, we're horrible Red Bull fans.
Well,
We
yeah,
just
no,
talked about how shit Tim Parker was.
They just announced he wasn't
Not
gonna be
even
playing.
looking
Nothing
at
really else
when his
came out.
partner's Back. All right.
I'm just happy Barista Ultras are back.
So Alex has got
Rebels!
Kyle.
I'm ready to be hurt again. No,
No!
Mike Petke, no win. New York Red Bull are gonna win.
So this, oh my god, this is the Pecky Derby. I didn't even realize it. This is the no Pecky Derby. And oh wait, the way Justin has his hand.
Oh,
raised-
shit.
Oh, he's coming in.
Hold a second.
Oh,
New Justin,
no.
no beer, new Justin. What are you going for, big
listen,
boy?
a blind dog can't find a bone every day. Real Salt Lake.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm saying draw.
Not even real Salt Lake, as
The
opposed to
real-
the fake
The
Salt Lake.
real Salt Lake.
Real Salt
The
Lake.
real Salt Lake.
Third game. Go.
Dallas is hosting Montreal, and I think because Montreal's away, the Henri Partey ends.
That's literally the only reason.
I have-
I think that
I
Texas is
have
gonna win.
Dallas winning this game. I think Dallas gets the home victory, strictly on the fact that Montreal can't concentrate with how crappy Dallas's jersey is.
It's a week one shot of the episode 1.
Dallas, Montreal.
Wadiyama,
Montreal
by the
did-
way, shout out to Wadiyama from Tottenham coming over to Montreal, but I don't think he's not going to be in that starting 11. I really can't imagine him coming over to the States and really like jumping in immediately to the starting 11. So that's why I'm going to go with Dallas.
So, Montreal didn't let me down last week, and I'm hoping that they continue that on this week. I'm giving it to Montreal.
Okay, so we have myself at Dallas, you with Montreal.
Let me write this down.
Also,
let me write this down.
Boys, we gotta go to Montreal. Either this year, next. No, not this
We're
year.
not
Next
going
year.
this
We're
year.
going next year.
We're not
we're
travel. No, there's no traveling right
No,
now.
'cause we're going to
We're going to
Pittsburgh
go to
this
Pittsburgh
year.
the same week to
Oh.
go see Red Bull 2.
Very true.
Next year, poutine, football, titties. We're doing it. We're going to Montreal.
All right, Kyle. So Montreal or Dallas?
Well,
Or do you prefer barbecue or poutine?
Dallas beat Philly, who I thought were gonna take it, so I'm going Dallas again.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Dallas beat the crap out of Philly, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be caught stupid again.
Alex, what'd you get?
Just honestly because they're hosting, I'm gonna go with Dallas as well.
So we have 3 Dallases and a Montreal. Justin?
Draw.
Everything's bigger and tense.
Aw.
All right.
Safe betting.
And sometimes you have to.
I already know what tattoo I'm giving you.
So
It can't be a facial beard. It doesn't work.
I can't tattoo a beard back on you. Fuck.
Fuck.
Joke's on you, cuz. Game 4?
Dallas is hosting.
Did we
Inter-
just fucking have Dallas?
No, I'm sorry, not Dallas. Not
Oh
Dallas.
my
Not
God.
Dallas.
You need to stop
Okay.
drinking.
All right.
5 on.
From now on, this kid is drinking water.
All right. So the next game, the Seagulls of DC. I wouldn't call them
The
Eagles.
Seagulls of
I wouldn't
DC.
call them.
Well, they're not the bald eagles
They're not
anymore.
the bald eagles, and for some reason they call
The
themselves
hair
Screaming.
transplant looking motherfucker ran on the left. So
DC hosts our beloved Luis Robles and Inter Miami. This is the easiest decision of the year. I think Luis Robles comes in wearing a Red Bull t-shirt under his Miami United uniform, puts on a clean sheet. I got a 1-0 win for Inter. 1-0.
1-0.
1-0.
This is a toughie. This is a toughie, but going based off of Alex's chant of fuck
Fuck
DC United,
DC United.
I'm gonna give this
DC.
the first win for Inter Miami against fucking DC United.
So Scott, go.
I mean, I'm
Fuck.
following my boy Robles.
Also,
I'm going
fuck
Miami.
DC United.
That too.
Kyle.
I think DC United might be taking a trip to Rome, see the Pope.
But-
Miami.
DC United.
But
went
but
to
what
Rome
did
to see
the Pope say to DC United?
Well,
when
see,
he
he
saw
told them to fuck off.
Is that what
Long,
happened?
long story short, TLDR.
So, flamingos across the board.
Fuck off.
Absolutely.
Pink as far as the eye could see.
Alright.
And are you going with the same thing?
I like the
Yes.
sound of that.
Okay. All right. So Mr.
How you
No
doing?
Beard,
Ain't no roast
Mr.
beef
No
here.
Beard to my left is going with Miami as well.
Alright, next game.
I'm trying not to look at him. Come on, stop talking about him.
Toronto hosts NYCFC, and I think
Say it. Say
I
it.
think
Say it.
NYCFC is a little upset with the whole red card thing the week before. I think they come out guns a blazing. I think NYCFC beats Toronto. Toronto didn't look good opening week. They did not. So I'm gonna go with NYCFC. I think they have a point to prove. And they know that if they lose 2 straight games, or if they only get 1 point out of the first 2 games, they're already kind of putting themselves in a little hole, not a great hole. So I think that club and that organization is going to try to fight their way to at least getting. They're going to try their best to go for it. So I'm going to go NYCFC.
This game is going to be Iber and Maxi Morales running trains around fucking
Hibber.
Michael Bradley.
I love the way you just said his name.
Yeah.
Hibber.
Iber.
Hibber.
Iber. Why making the Brazilian guy's name French? But NYCFC takes this, even though they're fucking homeless pricks. They take this.
That's no way to talk about homeless people.
Alex, please. Throw him a lifeline of water.
On the topic of homeless, I think I'm going to go with a draw here. Yeah, hands in the air, woohoo!
Oh wait, we got jazz hands coming.
We
from
got
Kyle.
jazz hands, you know.
I think
I
Kyle.
don't-
Once,
I
I
don't-
think Kyle once again is going.
I don't
for
have
a
faith in either
Are you
in
going
either
for a
team, to be
Poutine
honest, right now.
favorite?
As much as I want to, no.
I'm gonna go NYCFC.
Despite being a man down, NYC looked strong last week. I think they take it.
Hey, stop speaking French.
Iber.
I feel like you should be having
Go
that
home,
with
Dre.
a
You're
bag.
drunk.
It's fun saying French words when you're drunk, though. It really
I
is.
feel like you should be having a baguette directly shoved into the lower
have
part
a
of your
have a
throat.
baguette de fromage.
I need an adult.
I am an
I'm not-
adult.
I need an
I'm not
adult.
safe. I'm not safe in my safe standing section. I don't feel safe.
Hey, this week I did a very good job not punching very much people next to me.
Yeah, I stood right next to him. I didn't get hit once.
You also
I was
weren't-
very proud of him.
You
I'm
also
glad to
weren't the
see-
guy that tried to stand on the rails and fucking died.
Who?
That's why John ran up to the middle of the section, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I thought
Somebody
you-
tried to like stand on the middle of the
I thought he
rails
was
and-
talking about me. I definitely
did
stood
for
up
a
on the rails
second.
for a while.
I did for a second.
Yeah, but you did look a normal person. Whoa, I'm drunk. I probably shouldn't do this.
Immediately lost balance and got the fuck down.
I held onto you behind me and stood up. I was like, "Hey, Kyle, anchor."
I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe.
I'll
In
take
what?
I'll take NYCFC.
Oh, so I'm the only one
I
here.
think it's a safe bet.
Okay, go on.
I don't want to play safe.
So
Rapid fire. Let's go. Knock them out.
Alright, yeah, let's
Right.
make this faster.
So I think
We're
like
over
last-
budget per minute here.
So like last week, I think we had our easy game, and I'd like to think this is as well going to be our easy game.
Yep.
Atlanta hosts Cincinnati.
Am I safe to say everyone here says Atlanta?
I don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
Yes.
ATO.
Yes.
As much as I kind of want to do the thing where I pick Cincinnati every week until they finally win, no, I'm going with
Yes. And
Cincinnati.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Fuck, dude. Now wait to pick your tattoo. Holy shit.
Listen, I am at the bottom of the poll. I have to take the underdog.
Dude, you really have to get him a tattoo of Taylor Hall on his fucking face.
I'd take a bunny rabbit.
I mean, he gets the pick.
You know,
I think Marty right on his
No,
nutters.
no. You know what I'm gonna choose when I'm choosing Justin's tattoo?
I think-
Scott Stevens holding up the Stanley Cup trophy.
First hockey jersey I ever owned. Scott Stevens.
The
You
next-
should-
One of my favorite players.
At least you have better taste in
Henrik
jerseys than you do
Lundqvist
hockey teams.
Looking lonely with that one.
Next.
Go on.
Sorry. That's a jab.
San Jose is hosting Minnesota. Minnesota looked extremely promising against Portlandia.
Portlandia.
How else do you call Portland?
Hipster
I got-
Central.
I honestly, again, I outside of the one draw I have this week, I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Are you?
I think Minnesota looked really well against Portland, and I think Portland, in my opinion, is a
I'll
better
I'll
team.
stop you right there. Minnesota's a hockey town. I'm gonna go with the other team on this one.
You're gonna go with San Jose.
Are
and
you?
Those beautiful jerseys that we're all gonna go buy after this episode, which I
God,
gotta
those
say.
are
I already
so
have it.
trash.
I already have it on Amazon.
I mean,
2
hey,
days
talking
shipping.
about sexy jerseys. I'm going with Minnesota
Yeah,
just
no,
for them
this
sexy
is-
jerseys,
this is
baby.
Easy Minnesota.
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 I'm going with Minnesota.
Minnesota
Don't-
as well.
don't you know?
Oh, hey.
Minnesota, hey, what
Minnesota,
don't- hey,
don't-
Now
what-
we're Canadian,
hey,
eh?
what-
This is
hey,
fucked up,
hey,
eh?
what don't you know, eh?
Who the fuck gave us a podcast, eh? This is stupid.
Minnesota.
Oh.
Alright.
I just want to put this for a fact. If a couple decisions go in our direction, Justin's gonna be in a hole going into week.
I mean, I'm
three.
also against all of you on one of them.
Oh, big
so
time.
You and me are both in the hole, depending
time.
on how this plays out.
The next game.
But I also have tattoos, while Justin has
I have.
none.
I was about to say it's nice that I have a bunch of tattoos.
I don't
got
care,
the
yeah,
leg
bring 'em on,
sleeves.
let's
I'm
do
like,
it.
You want to put a tattoo on my?
Whoever's
thigh?
cutting this, the whole last section is gonna hate their lives. I'm just letting you know.
We cut nothing.
We cut nothing.
Rapid
We're running
fire.
low.
This is raw.
The next game.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Finger guns blasting right here. The next game,
Houston.
I got.
Oh, what? Sorry.
How do you know my games are?
Who's playing, motherfucker?
I said I got Kansas City versus Houston. Kansas City's hosting. I think Kansas City comes in and gets the win. Wu-Tang.
I don't understand the accent, but I'll go Kansas City.
I am gonna give this.
He's gonna go Houston because
To
Dynamo.
Houston.
Yeah, because Dynamo has the same name as my club team from Ukraine.
Literally.
I think
no.
Houston just.
I don't
stronger
support
than
any
them.
Dynamo clubs.
Diablo Kia.
That's not my club. I talked about this. In the
Dre, you going Houston or not?
Yes, I'm going.
All right, high five. We're both in there. Let's do it.
So we have
Two
Justin.
Houstons.
Justin's
Two
in KC.
SKCs.
So which way does the pendulum swing, Kyle?
I think
Big
we
booty
go.
There's the big
Sporting.
MLS.
He's
cock
gonna go
goes to
Sporting. So 3 Kansas Cities.
All
Some of
right.
that sweet bar. Well,
Let's do
actually,
it.
if I say sweet barbecue about either,
Three
both
more.
of them offer sweet barbecue.
Sure do.
I have more than 3. Relax yourself. We have Colorado hosting Orlando. Colorado actually looked pretty impressive. They looked decently strong in that opening game, while Orlando hosting did not look like a team that did much this offseason. I have Colorado. It's going to be a tight one. I think it's going to be a 1-goal game, like a 1-goal separating game. But yeah, I have Colorado.
Orlando gets it done.
He's backing on the Portuguese nane.
Orlando gets it done, bro. That's how it is.
I'm probably gonna go. See, I'm indifferent about both these teams. I'm gonna go with Colorado. Why not?
Because I got high.
Because I got high. Because I got high. It's the reason I never clean my room. So.
I was gonna go.
In other news,
In other news, Kyle.
Kyle.
Thanks
I
for
was
listening,
gonna
Mom.
go to court, but then I got
If
high.
my mom doesn't
In this
know
game,
by now.
considering that without Nani, Orlando couldn't finish in a whorehouse, I'm going with Colorado.
Holy fuck! I'm leaving. All right.
Church. We
Justin.
need Church.
Draw.
Draw. He says. He's like fuck all y'all. All right.
LA Galaxy is hosting Vancouver. LA Galaxy's first home
In a
game of the
closed
season.
stadium.
I think the
In
Mexican
a
na-
closed
I think the Mexican national fans flood for Chicharito chants, while LA Galaxy wins a 2-1 final. Gonna call a score on that
Wow,
too.
wow.
I'm
okay,
gonna
okay.
say the super sub finally advances his career and stops being a sub, and he wins this game for LA. I'm giving this to LA.
Yeah, LA has his hands down.
Kyle's just nodding his head.
I'm going with LA.
La?
You're going with
La
Log?
Fit-
A little bit of la?
La
You're
Fitness?
gonna go with
LA.
Log?
A little la.
Log?
La. If
Say
you
it.
want. La la la,
Say
whatever.
it.
La.
Say La La Land.
Say it with me.
You
Let
Pavone
me hear you
Chi-
say La La Land.
Pavone and Chinchorito, get it done.
La la. Dale.
So we're going into our final Saturday game. Oh wait, did you?
No, it's unanimous.
You said
La?
Yeah,
La?
you said La.
La?
La.
Okay.
I want
La.
to make sure it's on paper where
La.
it's not like.
Oh,
Instead of ints, it's La.
Final Seattle.
Nope.
Seattle.
Negative, sir.
The final
Try
Saturday
again.
game is going to be Seattle hosting Columbus. I think.
You already know what me
I
and Kyle
think-
are going to choose
I
over
think
here.
Yeah, I
Seattle-
know what it is.
Black and yellow, black and yellow,
I
black
think,
and yellow.
I think Seattle got the reality check that they desperately needed, and they realized, oh, we cannot underestimate opponents. I think Seattle comes in with a 3-0 final.
Wow.
3-0.
Big
I don't
words.
think
Big
Col-
words there.
I don't think Columbus gets on. Columbus only got 1 goal against the 10-man NYCFC.
I'm gonna go.
Don't you hold on? Don't you give me this attitude across the table. I'm looking at you, Mr. Myers.
I'm gonna go with the dumbass to my left and say Seattle.
I'm sorry, hold
Come
on.
on,
guys-
Seattle.
You guys are sad.
Fight
And
and win.
Me and Kyle over here trying to save the crew.
You know
by
where me and
ourselves.
Alex are going.
You-
Zelarayan's getting it done.
The crew is already saved. You
We're
don't
gonna keep
need-
saving it.
The
you don't
crew.
need to
We're gonna
save
keep
them.
saving it. It's never safe.
You don't need to save them. It's like when a species becomes unextinct.
Seattle
and they're just like,
barely-
When does a species become unextinct?
Seattle barely beat Chicago.
Once it's extinct, it's
The
extinct,
crew's
huh?
gonna win it.
endangered. I'm thinking.
Sweet, I'll take a draw as I continue to do more draws, and that's all games for Saturday.
I think Justin is using this contest as an excuse to get his first tattoo.
It's great because it's gonna be designed by us.
That's great. You're gonna have Scott Stevens right on your ass.
Wow.
Also, alternate, Henrik Lundqvist
We'll
looking
see at the end
very
of the season.
sad that he
I
doesn't
was-
have a cup.
I was more so thinking like a cricket player going, "Is this hockey?"
I've seen that one before.
We're going
I
into
just
the
thought
sun.
of it.
How many games we got
Weird.
left?
We got 2 games. We have 2 Sunday. We have 2
games.
Sunday fixtures.
Who watches games on Sundays?
Portland is
Church.
hosting.
God's Day.
Portland is hosting Nashville.
That's a hard. I'm gonna go.
Go in Nashville.
I'm going Nashville, man.
I'm going
They
Portland.
really impressed me.
Portland.
So we got 3 Portlands.
All right,
I'm
hold on.
also going Portland.
Wow, Matt's
I'm
going
yelling-
Portland. I'm so shocked,
Matt,
everybody.
Matt, I'm yelling timber.
Oh, God.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
All right, hold on. I only followed one of you guys.
Portland. Portland.
Matt, Portland. Dre,
Portland.
Portland. Me. Other team. Nashville. That's what it was.
Of
The other team.
Yeah,
And the other guys.
I need to stop
It's the-
drinking.
It's the other team.
Kaya.
I said Nashville at the beginning of this whole thing.
I told you I wasn't paying
Kyle.
attention.
But
Of
I
course
don't-
you're
Just
Kyle.
Portland.
I don't think you understand. It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
Dude,
Yo,
how the
how
fuck
much-
did you find a girl to actually say yes to you when you asked her to marry you?
I didn't.
I was
How
gonna-
where the fuck did you find her?
Christina, if you're listening, we want you to come on
You're
and
an
explain.
angel, girl.
We were giving you an hour-long interview. Have the Portland Timber ever had Kesher show up to a game and like say
I'm yelling timber.
like I would fucking pay money for that shit, bro.
Oh wait, which by the way, side
The
note.
Vegas Knights have fucking little John show up. You can't.
I mean,
the,
dude,
the
he'll
Timbers
show
can't
up
have
for
Kesher
anything.
show up.
Do you know?
Come on.
Do you know the reason why I'm going to go with Portland on this? And it's one reason only. Right now, Portland is.
Gonna win.
They have a system right now through their where you get their tickets. It's $35 general admission. So it's $35 general admission. Right
I
now.
also got the same advertisement.
So it's $35 general admission, no fees. $15 of your $35 ticket goes directly to Nashville and the things that happen with the tornadoes. That
Oh,
Beautiful
cool.
thing.
So,
Oh,
I'm
that's
telling,
cool.
so I'm telling you right now, just strictly on that alone, I want.
That doesn't make a team win, but okay.
But you have to understand.
Good
it's-
karma.
It's not the
Good karma
point,
helps
Dre.
sometimes.
They're super
Jay.
nice.
God,
They're gonna win.
Dre,
He's trying to make
why-
himself look
Why
good.
do you hate tornado victims and Southerners, Dre?
Racist.
God damn it,
God.
Trey.
Oh, here we go.
This
Final
is why we can't have
game.
nice things.
Final game. We're wrapping it up. LAFC hosts Philly.
You already know.
You already know.
Is it anonymous?
Jersey's
What more
chili,
can I
New
say?
York's chili. What more can I say?
Fuck Philly!
LAFC takes it
LAFC.
4-0.
All the
LAFC.
way
LAFC.
around. Hold on, unless Justin wants to play devil's
Yeah,
advocate
do you want to
over
play
here.
devil's advocate again?
Yes.
Oh,
Are you really?
serious?
All right.
What do you have, a draw?
Draw.
Oh my god.
Dude, at least
Can
call
you
it.
imagine
at
he
least-
actually comes out on top of
Imagine
that?
all
All
three of
this
these
shit.
games
Okay,
ends in
if you're
draws.
gonna be devil's advocate, at least call it the other way.
I'm physically standing up right now. Dude, you're drawing so much you're Picasso.
Shit.
Let me cut my ear off. No, it's
Salvador Dali looking
I
at.
wish
Don't worry, no one's gonna miss you until after you're dead. So.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
or until you lose your beard.
That's
Give me
when
a
I
hug.
stopped loving
Give me
you.
a
So.
hug. Give me a hug.
All right,
Give me a hug.
boys.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm hugging.
And on that note, episode 3 in the books, MLS predictions for week 2. We talked about other random things as well. Thank you for joining us. Please comment, like, and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Post and Pints. If you want to join in on the conversation or follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, that's at Post and Pints Podcast. And remember, the banter is free, but the beer is not included. Drink responsibly.